What is up there? Welcome to a brand new video on 414 Anime. In today's video, we are looking at the latest chapter of the Shield Hero manga, chapter 77. This chapter highlights the amazing relationship builds that the series is capable of and also sets up where the story will go next. As always, make sure to smash that like button to let me know that you want more Shield Hero videos. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new Shield Hero videos go live on the channel. And of course, for more Shield Hero videos, why not check out my Shield Hero playlists for character facts and Shield Hero lore. And of course, goes without saying, but there will be Shield Hero spoilers here for the anime onlys, so you have been warned. Anyway, with that being said, grab yourself a beverage, let's roll intro and get straight into the video. This chapter was titled The Sparks of War, and I absolutely adore the image here of Philo playing with the Shikigami, Raph-chan, and Chris. I've said this before, and I'll no doubtedly say it again, but they seriously need to release a plush of Raph-chan. I'll just buy it instantly without hesitation nor regret. This chapter starts with a grand party celebrating the victory of the previous wave, Kazuna's return, and of course the new alliance between the heroes of this world and Naofumi's party. This party looks extravagant. They have certainly pulled out all the stops on this one. Everyone seems to be having a really good time apart from one grouch sat in the corner. That grouch, of course, being Naofumi. Raphtalia has gone over to speak to him, who is sat in a corner staring out of the window in the classic, broody Naofumi-like manner. I love how Raphtalia says how amazing the party is and how nice it is that everyone is celebrating, only for a grumpy Naofumi to respond with, "They're making such a racket." Although the free food is nice. Let's be honest, we weren't expecting anything less from Naofumi in this kind of situation. Moving forward, Raphtalia mentions that Rishia has started to study and pick up on the country's language, which, we will see a bit more later in the chapter. Naofumi notices Raphtalia's new scabbard for her katana, saying, "It's a fine piece of craftsmanship." Raphtalia explains that she ordered it from the country's blacksmith, and that by having it, it puts her at ease because she has had her sword drawn since they came to this world, and finally having it sheathed for her has brought a bit of comfort to her. Naofumi remains in a grumpy state and down in the dumps, only really answering Raphtalia with short, to-the-point answers. This is because he is upset about the fact that Raphtalia's slave crest had gone when she became the hero of the katana. Of course, Naofumi is happy for Raphtalia, but he feels in a sense that their bond has weakened since the crest was broken. Of course, he won't communicate this to her, as Naofumi likes to keep things to himself, but it's nice for us viewers to see just how much Naofumi cares for Raphtalia. Naofumi is quickly broken out of his slump by the outburst of emotion coming from Raphtalia, who is in a flood of tears. And, it seems like the both of them have been keeping their emotions locked up, as Raphtalia also confirms that she feels that the proof of their connection had gone when the slave crest disappeared. But for her, she also felt as if she had failed Naofumi as his sword. It truly is a very touching moment for the two of them, as Naofumi says that he hasn't seen her cry for a long time. He does joke with her by saying that he forgets that she is still a kid, which, of course gets a reaction out of Raphtalia saying that she's not a kid anymore. But Naofumi interrupts her by saying that it was his way of saying how reliable she had become. He goes on to say, "My sword has returned sharper than ever," which I thought was such an amazing moment. Simple words, of course, but you can imagine just how important those words are to Raphtalia, especially in that moment. Naofumi continues to say, "And also, that Shrine Maiden outfit suits you very well." And believe me, I'm sure those words, combined with Naofumi's blushing face, meant a whole lot more to her. She's been desperate for Naofumi's attention in this way, and to finally get that, amazing. The intimate moment between the two is now, of course, interrupted by none other than a drunk lark. It proper kills the mood and the moment between Naofumi and Raphtalia that fans of the ship are foaming at the mouth for, but these next panels are really funny as it highlights the relationship between the two lads, and you really love to see it. The animosity is long gone and the two have a really fun to watch bond. Lark is obviously the kind of guy that wears his heart on his sleeve. He has a really happy, carefree attitude, whilst Naofumi, is just Naofumi, really. And, the two love the banter, especially our boy Naofumi. Locke just wants to have fun at the party and avoid any responsibilities he has as one of the country's heroes, but he is being tracked down by someone to put a stop to his fun. Young Master is being called out to him and he hides between Naofumi and Raphtalia. Of course, not letting this chance go to waste, Naofumi makes fun of Locke by calling him Young Master, and this is not going down well with Locke. Naofumi, on the other hand, is enjoying every last moment of this, and the two bicker like two close friends, while Raphtalia can only stand and stare into the distance. You just feel for Raphtalia in this moment because of what had just been interrupted. You really do. Like, what would have happened next? We'll never know. Therese, of course, then finds Locke and forces him to attend the boring errands, as he calls them. However, said boring errands sets up where the story is going next, and we find out that the country of La Belle, I think that's how you pronounce it, which is the country of the katana, has been captured by Luvar, which is the country of the vassal book hero Kyo. Talks between the countries have been taking place, but any agreements could not be met, meaning one thing: war. These countries are all dependent on their vassal weapon wielders, and it turns out that La Belle was targeted due to the loss of its vassal weapon that is now in the hands of Raphtalia. With their weapon gone, the balance of power between the countries has shifted. Everyone tells Raphtalia that this is not her fault and that she shouldn't feel responsible because, we must remember that the weapon chooses the wielder, and it's not as if Raphtalia chose to take the weapon. Even Glass was telling Raphtalia that the blame wasn't hers, so that's saying something. This scene ends with a frustrated Kizuna who says, even though we faced the waves as one, we're still divided. You can understand Kizuna here. She just wants everyone to get along and to be on the same page against a common enemy, but unfortunately there are people out there that want more for themselves. Off the back of this, the celebrations are brought to an abrupt end and the preparations for war begin. Naofumi and Locke are having a conversation where Locke states that he feels the same as Kizuna. He just wants to enjoy life and to be able to have these parties instead of the boring errands of war. Naofumi puts the knife in one last time by lightening the mood and telling Locke that he guesses he will have to call him Young Master from now on, to which Locke responds by saying, "What? Traitor?" Again, I really love to see this between the two of them. My heart, man. My heart. Though war is on the horizon, the two have this bond between them that is, displayed in these panels as a bit of banter between the two, but on the battlefield, this bond will show it in a completely different form to their enemies. We then move on to Kizuna and Rishia. Rishia's time researching this country's language is starting to pay off, but the one most impressed with Rishia's progress is Ethnabol. He can't believe just how much knowledge she has managed to absorb and how quickly she has picked this up. Rishia shrugs off the praise, saying that she can only do a little, but Ethnabol pretty much tells her to stop being modest and that what she has done is incredible. Rishia does get a little soppy by saying that she can't stop a war or be useful in one, but she can try and gain as much knowledge as she can to be of some use. Ethnabol tells her that people who excel at just one thing are strong. He encourages Rishia, who of course has very little confidence in herself. He says that the two of them together will decipher the old books, and you just know Rishia is going to excel and surprise everyone here. Not only that, but I think Ethnabol is going to be a huge mentor to her and really help to make Rishia believe in herself. She just needs that little push, and by Ethnabol telling her to have faith in herself really gives you that little hit in the feels. Talking of feels, we move on to Raphtalia and Glass, who are sparring together. Raphtalia has the upper hand over her, but knows that Glass's heart wasn't really in it. She asks Glass if it was because of Kizuna, but Glass closes up saying that she was just being careless. Raphtalia, of course, knows better and decides to open up to Glass about how she felt about Naofumi's treatment in their world and how he doesn't get along with the other heroes. Glass was a little shocked by this as she didn't know. She then goes on to tell Raphtalia that she will protect Kizuna the same way that she does for Naofumi. It's really sweet as well, actually. It's nice to see this motherly side to Glass, this, more human side, I guess you could say. She says, no matter how rotten the world is, no matter how tired she is with people who don't understand, I don't want her to feel despair. Which are truly, truly touching words. She begins to say that she loves Kizuna but struggles to finish the sentence. So Raphtalia interrupts her by saying, let's believe. She continues to say that Kazuna is strong and that Glass should trust and support her the way that she has with Naofumi before telling her to stop moping about. Glass, of course, reacts by saying, "What do you mean moping around?" And, just as Naofumi and Lark have this bond, it's nice to see that this one is forming between these two. It's definitely a relationship you wouldn't have thought of, and I think that's what I like about it. It's unexpected, but at the same time, it makes so much sense. Another thing to note from this conversation was that we saw that Kazuna was there the whole time and heard everything the two girls were saying. Now, the chapter comes to a close with Naofumi making a new accessory for his shield that grants him an equip effect. He says that he also wants to make something for Philo, and Kazuna wants something too, to which he responds by saying, "If I have time," which is basically a yes. Now, it's a really nice and relaxed environment at the house, but Raphtalia mentions that it's a bit too quiet. Naofumi says that he expects Kyo's assassin to show its face, then all of a sudden, a knock at the door. They ask who's there, and the voice responds, "Is this the home of the ones who possess the vassal weapons? I have come to deliver punishment." Naofumi isn't surprised in the slightest. He simply smirks and says, "Tell Kyo I've had enough of this kind of thing," before the door is busted open and the assassin shows herself, demanding that they face her. And, I won't lie, this assassin looks pretty nice. And there we go, that was chapter 77 of The Rising of the Shield Hero. Not much really happened in this chapter as it was setting up what's to come, but I really love the relationship builds in this chapter. The moment between Raphtalia and Naofumi, the bromance between him and Lark, Rishia finding that mentor figure in Ethnabol, and the surprise bond between Raphtalia and Glass. Honestly, this series builds on these bonds so well, and it really hits you in the feels sometimes. But what did you make of this chapter? Did you enjoy these relationship builds? Are you excited for what comes next? Obviously, light novel readers, we know what's coming next, but manga readers only, are you excited? I am excited. Woohoo! Of course, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more Shield Hero content just like this, make sure to smash the like button and share this video with a fellow fan of the series. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. There are plenty more Shield Hero videos coming, and I don't want you to miss a single one. As always, a huge shout out to Warwick, Animator22, Brian, Blake, Andrew, BS Tuna, Emmeline, Kivase, Cody, Chris, and S. Tauhai for supporting me on Patreon. Don't forget to head on over there yourselves, check out the amazing rewards, including a super special awesome exclusive series for Patreons only. But that is it from me. Till next time, my fellow weebs. Peace!